this is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So there's two more heavyweight fights that I noticed that will be added to the Deontay Wilder undercard, and I'm sure that these fights will not be televised, but we're talking about, in my opinion, because they're heavyweight fights. I noticed that Robert Alfonso, he is a Cuban fighter. I think he is based out of Miami right now, though, but he was an Olympian in 2008, lost to Glasgow in the Olympics. I've also did a prospect watch video on Robert Alfonso before. But 2007, he won the Pan Am Games. He beat Oscar Rivas. I know he's been in training camps with Deontay Wilder, Eric Molina, a lot of fighters. 6'5", 240-pound heavyweight. He will be fighting Keith Thompson, who was a smaller, shorter heavyweight. So I expect Alfonso to win this. He isn't the guy that's going to blow you over with power. I only think he has like a few knockouts with his 10 wins. So he's not in there trying to knock you out with one shot. Sometimes some people may say he's a little bit too defensive, but he's, base his style on defense and countering, and he gets the job done. You know what I mean? Keith Thompson, you look at his record, he lost to Alexis Santos, another explosive type of heavyweight who I've done videos on before, and he lost to Joseph Parker. Pretty much every time Thompson steps up, he loses to those types of fighters. So I expect Alfonso to get the victory, probably win by decision in this fight. Then the other fight is Lago Kiladze. I've never heard of the guy. He's fighting Maurice Harris, who I have heard of. Harris has been in there with a lot of different fighters. I mean, shit, man. Tony Thompson, Amir Mansour, just recently what he lost to Pulev and Ustinov. I know he got knocked out in the first round by both of those guys. He's been there with a lot of dudes. Freza Kendo back in the day. But the guy he's fighting, Lago Kiladze, I've never heard of him, so I looked him up, watched his fights. His one loss was a knockout loss. He lost to Yuri Kalinga in a cruiserweight fight. Got knocked out in the second round with a right hand. His leg got caught behind him when he went down. He couldn't recoup. The first round, I thought he probably won the first round, Kiladze. I thought he probably won the first round. I like his style. Good hand speed, good jab. Likes to throw a lot of straight punches, dig to the body. I'm curious to see, how he does at heavyweights. I looked at his record. He's 24-1 with 16 knockouts. 21 of his fights have been in the Ukraine. So this would be his fourth fight out of the Ukraine. But he's 6'4". I want to see what he comes into this fight. I'm thinking maybe around 215 or something like that, being that he usually fights at cruiserweight. But I guess we'll see. It looks like he's in great shape. I looked at some of his fights and I looked at his interviews. I've seen interviews of him calling out Anthony Joshua, calling out Deontay Wilder. He said that he sparred Ariola when Ariola was preparing for the Deontay Wilder fight. This was on the ES News interview of him. And he said when he was sparring Ariola, he said it was easy. He said it was easy work sparring Ariola. He said it was just easy. You know what I mean? So he also been in Klitschko camps. He's been in a few different camps. Kiladze has. So hopefully somebody in the arena can take some footage of this fight that he has with Maurice Harris. I think this is an interesting fight, man. Although Maurice Harris has his last two fights, he got knocked out in the first round, so maybe Kiladze is fighting him at the perfect time. But if you look at Harris, he's the type of dude that he has a lot of losses and knockout losses. But then he'll go 12 rounds with Amir Mansour, or the Freza Kendo fight back in the day. He got knocked out in the 10th round, but he was winning the fight. You know what I mean? Or he also lost to Andre Fedosov, and the Edmund Gerber fight went 8 rounds. He went the full 8 rounds, but then he has wins over guys like Derek Rossi and Nagy Aguilera and Julius Long and Jeremy Williams. He even beat Sergey Liakovich, took his undefeated record away from him when Liakovich was undefeated. He's even fought and beat Jason Bergman. Now, those aren't, Hall of Fame type wins, but it does let you know that he can get wins over those types of opponents. You know what I mean? So he's not just a guy that just gets knocked out, you know what I mean, or just gets a lot of losses. Although some of his bigger wins of his career have came much earlier in his career. You know what I mean? So I guess it's a fight that you would favor Kiladze in, because he just seems like the fresher of the two fighters. I know he's been in some really good camps. You know what I mean? So I think he'll be ready to go, man. At the very least, I expect him to win this fight by decision. All right, but this is another fight, man. I guess it depends which Maurice Harris shows up. He is 40 years old, but in his last 2 fights. He got knocked out in the first round. You know, but if he shows up and, you know, fights one of his better fights that he's fought in years, this could be an interesting fight, an entertaining fight. But I expect for Kiladze to win this fight. Just getting it out there, man, that these 2 fights will be on the Deontay Wilder undercard, along with Deontay Wilder himself fighting Gerald Washington. Then you got Dominic Breazeale taking on Israel Gono, and then you got Junior Fa making his USA debut. He will be fighting Keith Barr on the undercard as well. So just getting this out there to you guys, man. I'm out.